The best theft protection device that you can get for your car is a manual transmission because only 18% of the United States can even drive it. A manual car is more rare than you getting your car off jack stands and running again. Outside of the US, stick shift is still rather common, but here it's practically gone with the advancements in automatic transmissions outweighing most of the pros for manual transmissions. There is still a group of people who would rather shift by hand than have their car shift for them, even if it is faster because it adds personality to the car and it's honestly just more fun. The main hope for those like me and probably you, if you're watching this video, are brands that still add them to their sports cars. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you like the video, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe. One of the most loved JDM sports cars that's ever been was the GTR, and the manual GTR died with the R35. But some other Japanese cars lived on, so let's talk about them. The Civic Type R FK8 came standard with a 6-speed and not even an option for an automatic, as well as the FL5. The FL5 is the newest generation Type R that we have, and it has a 6-speed manual and came with the K20C1 motor, which is a turbocharged 4-cylinder making 315 horsepower and 320 foot-pounds of torque. The car already has made some pretty good feats, such as in March 2022, the pre-production model broke the Suzuka circuit lap record for front-wheel drive cars with a lap time of 2 minutes and 23 seconds. And also, the lightweight Type R reclaimed the lap record at the Nürburgring for front-wheel drive cars with a time of 7 minutes and 44 seconds. A car that some may question its sports car authenticity would be the Mazda Miata.
What kind?
What?
What kind of car? You said you had a sports car. That's cool, but what kind?
It was a Miata.
Oh, come on. That's not a sports car.
To this day, every generation of the Miata has come with a manual transmission, with the most recent one being the ND model, which comes standard with a 6-speed. This is also one of the cheapest ways to get into a sports car with a manual, as the MSRP is around $25,000. It only has 150 horsepower, which may seem very low until you realize it only weighs 2,200 pounds, and it's basically like you're just driving a go-kart.
Proper race car.
The Nissan Z or 400Z may not be the most loved car right now, as the MSRP is a little bit pricey. It is stuck true to the Z name and kept a manual. Despite the higher price, the car is fitted with a really nice interior that is definitely just a modern day Z car. It has a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 which makes 400 horsepower. One new car that really surprised me and made me want to own one is the Toyota GR Corolla, which comes standard with a 6-speed. It comes with a turboed inline-3 named the G16E and makes 300 horsepower and only weighs 3,200 pounds. It is one of my favorite hot hatches that we currently have, especially with a manual. The new GR86 and BRZ, which came out in 2021, are an easier car to get into with a manual, as the MSRP is only $30,000. And also, the 86 have always been known to be a super fun car without breaking the bank. A lot of German brands have completely abandoned the manual for the US market, but BMW holds strong, as it still offers it in the M2, M3, M4, and the Z4. BMW is truly the GOAT for this because you can buy those cars in the much faster automatic, but honestly, if you're spending that much money, you should be able to pick if you want it in a manual. The G87 M2 has a 3-liter twin turbocharged motor named the S58, and it comes with a 6-speed. The G80 M3 and the G82 M4 also come with the S58 and also have the option for a 6-speed as well. The Z4 M40i comes with the B58, which is a downgrade from the S58, but still more than enough to have fun with. BMW is still holding strong, praise the BMW gods. While on the topic of BMW, one more also came in manual that I forgot to mention, that is the Toyota Supra. It comes with the same motor as the Z4, the B58, and makes 382 horsepower and 368 foot-pounds of torque. It shares a lot of other BMW parts with kind of the shell of a Toyota. The car, in my opinion, is super good looking, but it did have to grow on me. I thought it was a little ugly at first. Another German brand that holds on is Porsche. The Cayman, Boxster, and the 911 all still have an option for a manual. The 718, Boxster, and Cayman come with a 2.5-liter named the MA2, which makes 360 horsepower and 306 foot-pounds of torque. While the Boxster and Cayman are different in sizing and weight, they both come with a 6-speed. The most recent 911 model is the 992. Not all of the models of the 992 come with a manual though. It is not standard in the base Carrera. You can only get the manual in the Carrera S, Carrera GTS, or the Carrera T models. The 992 GT3 also offers a manual transmission, and it's the only option for the GT3 Touring. The 992 has many different models, so we'll just go over the GT3. It comes with a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6 making 502 horsepower and 346 foot-pounds of torque and accelerates from 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. Over to the American side, we have the Cadillac CT5V Blackwing, which is an absolute monster. It is a 6.2-liter supercharged V8, which makes 668 horsepower and 659 foot-pounds of torque, and it sounds absolutely insane. It comes standard with a 6-speed with an option for a 10-speed manual, but again, if you're spending the money, you should be able to pick if you get a manual or not. The 2025 Mustang also comes with a manual in the GT Coupe, the GT Premium Coupe, the GT Convertible, and the Dark Horse. The Dark Horse was made to take on the C8 Corvette and comes with a 5-liter Coyote motor making 500 horsepower, and it also sounds pretty insane. The 2025 Camaro also has the option for a manual in the V6 and the V8. It also comes in manual in the top-of-the-line Camaro, with the ZL1 also getting the option for a 6-speed. Every year we see less and less manuals out there. It's really sad, but thankfully we have so many used cars that already have had them in the past. If you're learning to drive stick, the best way to do it is just to buy a cheap used car that's pretty reliable that you can just beat on to learn how to drive stick. Once you get familiar with it, you can then look at some of these newer cars, but honestly, if you're like me, you're just going to kind of want to drive the older cars. But anyways, that's all the cars that you can still buy with a manual transmission. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a good one.